This is part of a project, The Journey, A Changing Southampton, which has been initiated by Unity 101 in Southampton and supported and funded by the National Heritage Lottery in the UK. Indians and Kenya. In 1887, the British East Africa Association was founded with its base in Bombay. The following year, the association was given a royal charter, becoming the Imperial British East Africa Company and moving its base to Mombasa. This company, which served the needs of what we would now call capitalists, but a white business class in the UK. Now, although the company was now based in Africa, the company had a strong Indian orientation, employing guards, police officers, clerks, and accountants from Bombay. Significant Indian migration to modern-day Kenya began following the creation of the East Africa Protectorate in 1895. The Protectorate took over the assets and personnel of the Imperial British East Africa Company, and hence its Indian orientation. The rupee was instituted as the currency of the Protectorate, and the legal system became an extension of Indian law. Among the local Indian ethnic populace, the vast majority of administrative roles were filled by Konkani Gwans, Parsis and Gujaratis, while the ranks of the British officered police and army mainly consisted of Punjabis. Between 1896 and 1901, some 32,000 indentured labourers were recruited from India to construct the Uganda Railway. The principal recruiting centre was Lahore, where workers were engaged from the surrounding villages and sent to Karachi in special trains to catch specifically chartered steamers of the British East India Steam Navigation Company. Once the railway Kenya to Uganda was completed, some of these labourers voluntarily settled in the Protectorate and brought families from India. The railway opened the interior to trade, and many soon began migrating away from the coastal cities. Over the following years, large numbers of Gujaratis and Punjabis migrated freely, seeking to utilise new economic possibilities in the Protectorate. These migrants often came with family members or members of the same village or caste. One of the most significant early Indian business people in Africa was A.M. Jivanjee. In 1819, his company, A.M. Jivanjee of Karachi, was awarded the contract to supply labour for the building of the Ugandan Railway, and he subsequently went on to establish himself as the preeminent Asian businessman in the new colony, in effect acting as the contractor providing the indentured labour. He established Kenya's first newspaper, now known as The Standard, in 1901, and was the first non-white to be elected to the Legislative Council in 1910. In 1904, it was estimated he owned half of Mombasa and the greater part of Nairobi. In 1900, the Mombasa Indian Association was established on the initiative of L.M. Savle, and with the backing of wealthy businessmen Aladdin of Isram and the Jivanjee brothers, and became the first political organisation in the Protectorate to represent the interests of Asians. Regional branches later emerged, including in Nairobi in 1906, which soon became more influential than the Mombasa Association. To coordinate the aims of the different branches, the British East Africa Indian Association was formed in 1907. However, it soon became representative of only local interests and remained relatively unimportant. In 1914, the East Africa Indian National Congress was established in Mombasa and was modelled on the Indian National Congress. After the Second World War, Asians were found in all occupations in Nairobi and the townships, in business, the police office, police force, bureaucracy and the professions. Their commercial skills contributed to the economic development and prosperity of Kenya and the rest of East Africa. The 1950s saw increased sentiments against the inequalities of colonial rule, and many Asians were at the forefront of the push for increased rights. These included Pia Gama Pinto, founder of the Kenyan African National Union newspaper, Makan Singh, who was regarded as laying the foundation of Kenyan trade unionism, and A.R. Kapila and Fitz D'Souza, known in the legal profession for their representation of those accused of Mau Mau links, the Mau Mau being a significant terrorist body. Those without Kenyan citizenship soon became subject to increasing discrimination by the new ruling government of the new Kenya, led by Jomo Kenyatta. Despite the entrepreneurial success of the community, in 1970, 70% of the economically active Asian population consisted of wage and salary earners, and 30% worked for the civil service. A policy of Africanization meant many were sacked in favour of black Africans. The Kenyan Immigration Act 1967 required Asians to acquire work permits, whilst a Trade Licensing Act passed in the same year limited the areas of the country in which non-Kenyans can engage in trade. These rules and the establishment of citizenship controls were also then mimicked and adapted by Idi Amin in Uganda. In the late 1960s and early 1970s, faced with a dim future in Africa, many Asians chose to utilise their British passports and settled in the United Kingdom. Those who remained saw a gradual improvement in their legal status. However, the Asian community continued to be cautiously inward and self-reliant. Despite varying degrees of acculturation, most have retained their strong Indian ties and traditions. Following the 1982 Kenyan coup d'etat attempt to remove President Moi, many Asian shops and businesses in Nairobi were attacked and pillaged. Despite fears at the time within the community, it did not result in another exodus of Asians from the country. On the 22nd of July 2017, the Uhuru Kenyatta government announced that the Asian community would be officially recognised as the 44th tribe in Kenya, recognising the community's contribution to Kenya from the dawn of the nation. Now, the majority of Kenyan Asians are Hindu. The leading caste-based subgroups within Kenyan Hinduism include Lahanas, Lohars, Rajput, Patels and Metas, among others. Their largest concentration is in Nairobi, where Mandias can be found in most neighbourhoods. The next largest community are Muslims, the majority being Sunni Muslims. However, there is a significant Shia minority, including Ismailis, Bohras, and Ithna Ashariya. There are also sizable communities of Sikhs and Jains and smaller numbers of Roman Catholics. Now, the Journey project seeks to inform and help people understand the journey of Indians, but as we move forward, not just Indians. Now, we need volunteers. If you want to help with the Journey project, please become a volunteer. Obviously, it's easier if you live in or near Southampton or Hampshire, but we can be creative, and there are a range of tasks which we will help to teach you. Also, if you or your family move from the Indian subcontinent directly or via Kenya, Uganda, South Africa, Trinidad, contact us if you want us to tell your story. You can contact us through the journey at unity101.org. That's the journey at unity101.org. Thanks for listening.